What is up, my dudes, and that one girl can't wait to see me take apart my bike for the 1000th time. This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Yep, we're just doing this. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Cardo communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Bam! You should check my coffee page down below. Want to know why I'm asking you for money? Spoiler alert, it's not to buy out every single bar in the United States. It's for a good cause. Link also down below. So let's just jump right into this one. So today, I am replacing my Sony AX7000 headstock unit with a Soundstream HDHU 14si elemental P whatever stereo. It's on the box, check it out. This is the newest headstock from Soundstream, and this is a full-blown game changer for those of you who want like just the best of the best when it comes to a stereo unit in your bike. And we're going to break that down a little bit throughout this video. So hang with me, let's get into this. This headstock is built pretty much exactly like the Harley headstock. As you can see, it is fully sealed. This can get caught in a rainstorm. This can get wet. You could blast this with a pressure washer and it's still gonna work, but seriously, don't blast your stereo with a pressure washer. Come on, use your brain. It has all the hookups on the back. Everything is capped and sealed for when you're not using it. These are like the amp outputs. This is the Sirius antenna output. So with this headstock, it is an optically bonded screen, just like you get on the Harleys. This is going to be able to be seen in sunlight the same way your Harley one would. The difference between this and the Harley one is this thing has so many features. Like, it's kind of like a cell phone. You buy a cell phone because it has 6,000 features in it, you're probably going to use 5. That's probably going to be me as well, but I want a really good working stereo. So let's do a little bit of breakdown of what's on the bike currently, and then we'll get back to installing this one, which is set up to be plug and play. And yeah, I can't wait to do this. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is my current setup, and this is the Sony AX7000. It's behind this little windshield right here. Now, the thing about this stereo right here is it can't really get caught in a rainstorm. It's going to cause you some problems and some issues that you don't want to go through. One of the things I did with this stereo is I got this little windshield thing that I put on. I got it from some random crackhead in, like, I think it was like down south. It was a whole thing to get this. I would never say his name on film because I never want to promote this dude. I just want him to go away to whatever little meth lab he crawled out of. So I'm gonna have to heat gun this off. It's actually held on with 3M tape. I am really excited to do away with this because it is quite annoying when I'm on the road. If I'm on the road, trying to like get to my stereo. It's great for the protection. It's horrible for user friendliness. So yeah, we're gonna heat gun that off. So here's the part of the video where you'd normally see some sort of like crazy ass montage of breaking down the bike, take apart everything, stuff like that. Honestly, I've done this a few times. It's in some other videos. I actually have a whole playlist called like Road Glide Upgrades. Definitely check it out. So we're not gonna quite do that, but I am gonna cut to some important stuff just for you to see how the stereo's fitting in, hooking up, and all that fun stuff. But in the interest of time, we're not going to do the super drawn out version of replacing everything. So right now, this is the current setup that I have for the Sony AX7000. It's actually when Fathead Cycles was still a thing, which I'm pretty sure they have completely gone the way of the dodo. Kind of sucks. They were nice guys. But I don't know, that's the way it works. So one of the things is they send you these modules. These are to retain your hand controllers, and they actually shrink wrap them and all that stuff to help protect. This still doesn't really do too much because the back of the stereo is not fully sealed. So like after I'd wash my bike or stuff like that,
I would lose my hand controls for a little bit. Kind of sucked, whatever, par for the course. They would come back once like the bike dried out a little bit. Nonetheless, these are very limited in what they can do. Like my hand controllers, I don't have full use of them with this stereo and this setup. So the new setup is going to be absolutely awesome. So through both Sony AX stereos, I've actually used USB cables like this because you could plug them right into the back of the stereo and you're good to go. I always put in like the USB-C ones because I use Android. I was at one point in time very much debating cutting the USB cable that is inside the stereo that comes out on the glove box on each side just to get rid of them. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put them aside. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. Just kind of tuck the wires, which is good because the new Soundstream actually uses this adapter here. This is actually the cable that goes to the USB port that's in this box. Now, the only thing I've seen on the Soundstream that I don't care for in one way, but in another way don't care about is there's no connection for the USB port on this side. So that USB port is going to be rendered useless with this new Soundstream. Honestly, I keep other stuff in that compartment, so I don't care. I've never used that USB port, so I don't care. It's just one of those things I wanted to let you guys know just in case this is something you are considering, so it's not a surprise. This is your stock connector on your Harley. Now, in theory, this can plug right into there, and this is plug and play. The problem with that is you're not going to have use of your hand controls. So Soundstream actually went and teamed up with Maestro for the RR1 data link. And what this does is it basically, this box right here, you can plug it into your computer, you can flash it, you tell it what kind of stereo you have, what kind of bike you have, etc., etc. And then you can actually customize all of the buttons on both sides of the handlebars. This makes it so you actually get more use and more functionality out of the controls and out of the buttons on your bike than even the stock Harley options. This thing is absolutely amazing, and you can absolutely customize it so you can make it do whatever you want. You don't have to have volume up and down. If you want it like somewhere else, you can. You don't have to have like the controls on the left mirroring the controls on the right. This thing, every single button can do something different, and it's just absolutely nuts. The amount of detail is almost infinite with what you can do with this. The combinations, the choices is just insane. So I am so happy to get this on the bike. This is so much better than those other little modules I showed you on the old stereo.
All right, so it's been a little bit since I turned on the stereo for the first time. The reason for that is because I definitely had a buzzing going on in the speakers, which I also had with the AX7000, and I thought it was some sort of defect in the AX7000. The problem was the RCA cables I was using. I actually ordered some gold-plated ones off of Amazon. I thought they were pretty good. I obviously did not go out and buy the cheapest ones I could find. I was looking for a good pair that would last in the bike. Those were actually causing a lot of buzzing, a lot of issues with the speaker. Again, before I thought it was the Sony AX because I thought it just kept getting wet or whatnot. Not the case. But I did get some cables. I got the stuff that I needed. They're a little bit longer than I wanted. I was hoping for like between 2 and 4 foot. I ended up with 6 foot, but whatever. I'll just tuck it into the fairing. I plugged those in. All the like bad ground sounds all went away. Now I kind of want to show you some of the stuff that the stereo does because I think it's pretty awesome. And I did play with it for a little bit before I turned the camera back on. You'll see. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the Soundstream Reserve firsthand when it turns on and the different features that it has. So the first thing you're going to see is this boot up screen with the Soundstream logo. I mean, this is no different than any other stereo that you put in. Harley does it, Indian does it, Sony does it. So not a bad boot time, comes up pretty quick. And for this one, we're going to see the home screen pretty much right away. So be aware that all of this is customizable. So obviously at some point in time, I'm going to go through and get rid of like Apple CarPlay and like Sirius Radio, because those are things that I don't really use. Same with the camera, but they are here for the time being. There are a lot of different things that you can do and see with this stereo, and even stuff I'm showing you is not the full list. One of the things is you have this whole taskbar down below. You can actually hide that if you want. So, you know, once you get things set up the way you want, if you don't want to see that, it's gone. We're going to bring it back for the time being. You have your gauges. This is actually a really cool setup. So first and foremost, in the center, I have my 0 to 60. So, you know, if I feel like showing you how fast I can do 0 to 60, there you go. It actually gauges it out for me. It also does the time for a quarter mile. I have my intake temp here, I have my miles per hour, and I have my voltage. So that is a pretty robust setup, and all of this can be moved around, changed, and actually you can have different things here. These are not the only 5. In fact, there's 2 pages. Let us go over to the other page and see what else we've got. So here we have miles per hour, voltage, RPM, air intake, and then twist grip. So this is just showing you, you know, how hard you're going on like your throttle. Pretty responsive. I mean, it just comes right up real quick. So again, not what you have to have on one page. You can customize all this, and there are other options. This just happens to be the setup that is current. I may make adjustments over time. So let's go back to the home screen. Another thing you can get on this is the motorcycle info. And do you like that wallpaper? Do you like it? That's another thing. You can actually customize your wallpaper. It's a little nerdy thing, but it's nice to have. So here you have your battery voltage, you have a check engine light, you have your check oil, and that's because I do not have my bike on right now, so it's going to show that. Right here it's showing me I have 73 PSI in my front and rear tires. That's because my bike doesn't have TPM monitors, so I'm sure that's just full default. The other cool thing about this screen, if I'm using my brakes, it's going to light up. If I'm using my directionals, it's going to show them. And I can see if there's any sort of issues with them. Same thing, high beam, low beam. I have my little compass right here, so I know which direction I'm going in. Now over here, this is actually kind of fascinating to me, and let me see if I can get that a little closer. This actually shows gears. Now you will see this on your Speedo for your Harley, but one of the things that Harley always does is you only see what gear you're in when your clutch is popped out and you're going. I am really curious to see if this works similar to like an Indian motorcycle, where even when your clutch is like pulled in and you're not in gear, if it shows you where you are sitting currently. I don't know about you, but there's been many times I've come up to like a red light or something and I completely forget that I'm in like 3rd or 4th gear when I go to take off and, you know, bog down. It happens. It happens to all of us. If you say it's never happened to you, you're probably lying. But all right. You've seen that it works perfectly fine, barehanded. Let's get into some glove tests, shall we? Okay, with the glove test, I'm actually going to use 3 different gloves that I commonly use during the summer. Obviously, summer is the time that I'm riding the most, so this would be the most important. The first one up are these Thrashin supplies. I have touchscreen here and here, so let's try this out. We're going to go to home. Yep, that works. Gauges. Yep, home again. Motorcycle info. Everything works great. Thrashin supply, thumbs up. Next on my glove test are these mechanics gloves. I tend to use these a lot just because I like the hardened knuckles and like they're a little more padded here. Same thing, touchscreen here, let's try it out. So we're gonna go home, yep, motorcycle info, yep, home, gauges, no problem. Mechanics gloves, thumbs up. And last but not least, the Infinity Gauntlet. Also, touchscreen here and here, so let's try that out. Gauges, yep, home, bike, everything works great. Look at that wallpaper. Look at that wallpaper. So yes, the Infinity Gauntlet was a snap. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of what else I have in my bike, because obviously a new headstock is not going to be the thing that solves all of your issues, and I do have other stuff going on. First and foremost, I have the SX690 Neo 1s. These are 6x9s, and they reside in my saddlebags. I also have the SX165 Neos. These are 6.5 speakers, and these reside in my fairing. And then for my amp, I am using a Rockford Fosgate. This is their newer one. It's an 800 watt 4-channel MX800X4. It is fully watertight on both sides. This is designed for elements, and it does fantastic. Even here, like, so under this black plate, this is fully sealed and gasketed, and that's where all your controls and dials are. So this is a really good amp to have. Aside from that, I also have Dynamat in my fairing. The Dynamat doesn't do like an amazing thing, but it does make the sound a little bit warmer, and it helps to push the sound from the speakers towards you and not out the front of the bike. All right, guys, so normally right here, we would do like a test ride. We do like, sound check and all that stuff. Problem is, there is a snowstorm going on right now. So I've got a couple inches of snow out there. I've got ice and I've got salt. So we're not riding anywhere. Sorry. However, in the spring, there will definitely be a long-term review on this stereo, which is something that I look forward to do. Anything can sound good, look good, and be good right out of the box. I definitely want to put this through the rigors and kind of like put some serious miles on it before coming back and telling you if it's really, really good, really bad, pros, cons, whatever. Overall, though, I am really excited about this stereo. It is actually the second generation for the Soundstream Reserves. They had one out last year. This sits in pretty much the exact same case and all that. It just comes with more features. And that Maestro device that's on the back actually is set up and enabled so you can take care of updates. You can actually, as they add features, you can like drop those into the Maestro and put more features into your stereo if that's what you want to do. Nonetheless, guys, I hope this gave you a viable option for a different stereo head. If you're looking to get away from like the junk that Harley puts in there, and you're looking for something that is more robust and has more to it than if you were to just like install a Sony or, something else similar to a Sony. Definitely check the stereo out if you're in the market, if you're looking to upgrade, if you're looking for something better. This thing is so far out of the box, pretty damn amazing. That's what I got. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dork is like, I got the stock Harley radio and I can't hear anything over 50 miles an hour, help me. He loves this stuff, trust me. I'll see you all on the flip side.